Right, how are you, lads?
Yeah, right.
Not so bad, not so bad at all. Listen, I hear you have an interesting day coming Sunday.
Oh yeah, just to do a quick promo on it. On Sunday we are going to visit the corrupt Mr. Seamus Hughes in Westport, who claims to be a judge, but we know he's not a judge really. And he's done an awful lot of harm to an awful lot of people, myself included. And with the formation of ACT, the Anti-Corruption Taskforce, we are going to arrive outside Mr. Hughes's house, like we did outside his courtrooms in Athlone and Longford. And we're going to inform the public by leaflet of all the crimes he's guilty of. He's definitely not fit to be a judge. And basically, we're going to make his life hell from now on. If he thinks he can go around being above the law, he's made a serious mistake.
Yes.
And we're going to show him. You going up, Colin?
Oh, I'll be there as well, and just for any member of the Gardaí or that, because there's ones of them in that area that I had run-ins with in Castlebar, and they're bringing me to court there on Tuesday. More trumped up charges, but just to let them be aware as well that the same is waiting for anyone that corrupts the public office. We will not hound them, but we'll be there with them, in and out, everywhere they go. We'll go to restaurants with them. We'll go and say a prayer along with them, maybe for them, all that. But that's what's coming down the road. This is not acceptable in our society, in my life anyways. I'm not going to accept thugs going around with cloaks on them, and dishing out penalties to people that think just because they can.
It's one law for them and another law for us, and they think they can do what they want. They're scamming the whole country. They have the country destroyed. I see Hughes there again. Last week was one of the highest claimant of expenses again, along with Kilraine.
Just in relation to Kilraine, I don't know if you lads know, but today he made an order in Donegal and Ballyshannon Court, where he said that nobody in mainstream media can report on the political interference in the Mary Boyle case.
Oh, well, then it's time to start doing it.
Yeah.
Anything Kilraine says to the opposite, because he's a thief and he's a proper lunatic.
That's the same judge that tried to shut you down in the exact same way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Put a gagging order on
Tried
you.
to gag me. He's he's a pure state corrupt. I've heard that. I have files that take on him. You've seen the files.
Oh yeah,
he's
but
absolutely...
seeing the files, didn't I see him somersaulting above in Castlebar? Isn't that what I'm up for?
So
somersaulted and ran back under the table.
That's right, I was there. I was there that
the
day.
Lord save us and bless us. Sure, I'll tell you.
I missed that one.
Cartoons. I wouldn't put him in charge of cartoons.
But this goes to show you how corrupt the district courts are. Like, I mean, you got Kilraine, you've got Devons, you've got Lindsay. I believe Stephen Manning was up in front of Lindsay in Dublin today. Another clown, and that's the guy in the wheelchair. I mean, these all have serious histories. That it just goes to show you that these district courts are rotten to the core. They shouldn't be in existence.
I was there in Athlone when yourself and Wayne were, in my opinion, kidnapped.
Kidnapped off the streets,
and then you were sentenced unlawfully to 7 days in prison, and that judge had no right to do that.
Well, that was Hughes,
and the High Court exonerated you 2 days later.
Completely.
But still, there's no accountability for the likes of Hughes when they make those kind of determinations.
I listened to a radio interview up on the BBC in Northern Ireland, where they were actually laughing at the kind of judges we had in the district courts here. They laughed about Hughes and Devons. Not laughing in that it was funny, but laughing how stupid the situation was, that you could have judges like that still in existence.
That's for sure.
In this day and age. So, I mean, it's up to us all in ACT, and I mean, the support is growing. I mean, the complaints are flying in. The files are getting thicker on everyone, and you've seen them, Gary. You've seen them. And, I mean, it's hard for people to travel around the country, but this is going to be the first kind of standpoint, which is against Hughes. I mean, we're going to go for Devons after that. We're going to go to Peter Handley. We're going to go to Kilraine. Who else did we say?
McKenna and Doherty.
I mean, we've Joe Doherty in here, who has to be one of the most corrupt barracks in the country.
That's the fellow that wanted you arrested for the Garda baton. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He tried to make out I stole the baton when it was left here on the property.
Telling the judge he wanted him charged with stealing the baton.
The whole court broke down that, including the guards. I heard.
Hilarious, but I mean, that's the kind of donkey you have running a station, like. And I mean, even his own Gardaí laughed at him. They couldn't hold it in. And I mean, that's the kind of respect for them,
Now, even the solicitors and the ones that was looking straight at Doherty, they had to put their heads down because it was all of their time to contain themselves.
Brilliant.
You know, but can you imagine the girls that's looking up to him? They must feel awful low altogether if they can have someone like that in charge of them.
But you've got the likes of Doherty there in Ballina Barracks and the likes of Pat Ruan and a few of the older guys. They've been involved in corruption all their lives, and I've no hesitation in saying it because I can prove it. And I've witnessed Gardaí and detectives in Ballina selling drugs in Ballina in the pubs. And this is why they came after me originally 16 years ago. And I'm making a documentary or a video on how they framed me 16 years ago. And I won't be frightened to say what has to be said in it.
Yeah.
Right,
and I mean, it's common knowledge about the drugs being sold by
sure,
in Ballina, you know.
Well, all over the country, apparently. Athlone is well known for it too. So on Sunday morning in Westport.
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock at
SuperValu carpark. We're all congregating there. We have flyers, we have posters, we have our yellow vests. And I'm sure the Gardaí are going to have a welcoming committee for us, but we don't care.
Yeah, they've already said that in the paper.
They've already said that in the Mayo News. They've put a veiled threat in it, but we're not bothered because we're doing what's within the law.
And Colm, for you on Tuesday, you're up on a charge of... you don't even know?
There's everything except the kitchen sink.
Right.
They have made it in a ways that if they don't get me on one thing, that they'll get me on the 6th or the 7th or the 8th. They have a load of stuff in there. But you know what I will say, what I said on the radio the other night, is that going on the Bible, and when they swear on the Bible, remember the few paragraphs beforehand, that he who is free from sin throw the first stone. Because I'll tell you, the people that the statements I have up against them, I've done a bit of research and I have come up with shall we say bygone days, and I will be asking them on the road about it.
I tell you want to ask that Kathy McDerby a few questions. She made a statement in it. She's one of the witnesses.
What's the name of the guard that brought these charges?
Derish.
That's the Blondie sergeant.
Yeah, well, since she was put under citizen's arrest, I haven't called her sergeant. She's Naomi Derish. That's what she is. I tell you, like, I used to have respect for that uniform on time, but with the ways that it's carrying on now, I'll tell you, it's a turn in my stomach. Yeah, that's the way that.
I have to say, I won't say I've had charges instigated against me, but I have had a run-in with her myself, and she was very, very obnoxious and very, very thick in the way she handled a particular subject with me. And I don't rate her at all. I think what she's doing there to you is absolutely ridiculous.
But I'd say that it's McKenna and Co that's trying to get me out of the way, and they used her. She'll be thrown to one side after this because there'll be stuff coming up about her that she won't be too well pleased about. And just to let her know as well, the day that my Integrity Ireland badge was knocked off, and with her foot. She stood in my fingers. Like, I won't say who, but fair play to the man that followed it with the video camera.
She put her trotters on it.
She put her trotters on it, yeah. It was back under the crew beans, but still.
I was going to say, don't forget, A.C.T is providing the security now for you, and Stephen Manning on Tuesday, so we're going in force to...
And but now we want them to understand that it's awful hard to get through to them, that dense. Yeah. But we want them to understand we're going in law abiding, we'll break no laws. No. And I'll tell you, in the act of defending ourselves, that's not breaking a law. Yeah. Right. From totally any tyrant, whether they're wearing a balaclava or whether they're wearing a Garda uniform. If they come out to viciously or attack or assault us, we invoke the right to protect ourselves.
So you're going to have your own security personnel team there, and like, just to clarify this is because your safety is not guaranteed in this court. No judge will, and these guards, anytime they see you questioning, asking questions, making points, you're automatically targeted as such and dragged out of the court. And I've seen that with my own eyes. It's happened to me. Yeah. And it's happened to hundreds of other people up and down the country. So enough is enough. And I think you're right, lads.
Yeah, we seen what happened in Trim with that Leonie Reynolds when she had your man stripped.
That's right.
And beaten black and blue.
And dragged back in.
Yeah, and we've seen it down in Cork there in the Dan Hegarty trial, all the Gardaí that turned up ready for action as well, thugs.
And I understand in Limerick today that they had the riot squad waiting for us, but we weren't there.
Pure police state, but we're going to break them down. We're going to smash them to smithereens, whatever it is.
And just to vindicate our own security, personnel being there. I am not asking the court, or I won't be making a request, but I'll be giving them a formal notice to state that I have instructed that we will be videoing every bit of the proceedings.
Okay.
That's a foregone conclusion. Let them come up with all the acts and everything. We're going into a court of law, and let them show me the law where you cannot record. They have a fella within there with trotters going around with a video camera.
And a gun.
And a gun, a Glock on its side.
You think if I brought a head of cabbage, would they recognise me? They'd probably think it was just bacon and cabbage.
I'm thinking about bringing a gas mask because of the smell of shit and bullshit coming out of those courts.
I don't know. Well, the one thing that I'd like you to hold it is to be... I'll be respectful to the court, but not to the thugs that's running it.
I agree with you.
You know, I have the greater respect, and I don't want... And please... Whatever judge you are, don't hold me in contempt for telling the truth.
He'll try. Truth is truth.
Yeah, oh Jesus, please don't. Anyway, I'll be awful cross.
Don't forget, Sunday, we need you. Be there. And Tuesday, we'll try and get all the app group up, and it should be a good day in court.
Yeah, well, I tell you, do you remember Benny Hill where they used to be? Yeah, well, I think that Tuesday will be a bit like that. I tell you, if it's anything like the last year that we were in Balna, besides us sore for the evening, laughing there, and I just come along. There's people looking for tickets, and you'll be paying double the price as the closer it gets to the time. We have nearly all sold out here.
Okay.
So
fair play, lads.
We have sent some around the country to the different act counties,
right.
But there's only so many tickets for each county. So just beware and get your tickets in time, and we'll see, and make sure you enjoy it, because one thing sure I will.
Thanks, lads.
Thanks.
See you, Gary.
Go
Cheers,
on.